Hi, it's Jeff here from Lytton Press. Welcome to this episode. We're going to do a quick unboxing. I've ripped off all the plastic, but I'm going to show you through the components of a game called Wings of Glory. Now, Wings of Glory is this is the rules and accessory pack. It is from Ares Games. It's a tactical World War I aircraft simulator, that system that uses no dice. The system originally came out in 2002 as Wings of War, and obviously I've been playing that ever since, and I decided to get this box. This is a 2012 box as an update to the rules. The old rules are compatible with the new rules. It's just slightly different art, but you can use the old rule set. But I thought, why not grab a box, and I thought I'll show you what it looks like. So if we go straight to the back there, you'll see there's an indication of what you get. There are fully painted miniatures available for this system. They don't come with the original box set. It is for ages 13 plus. It's about half an hour playtime, 2 or more players, but obviously you can extend that, and I'll go into a little bit more about that. Okay, so it's basically a non-dice system to play World War I aircraft. All right, let's have a look what we get in the box. So, flop the lid. It's nice and tight, and it's actually a very good construction. There's the summer catalogue in there. What we have, first of all, is a selection. It's a 40-page full-colour rulebook. Now, what's quite interesting is that it has an introduction at the start, but it doesn't have an index, because the index is called a summary at the back, which I found a little bit funny, but it's good. It's quite detailed. It goes through, this isn't obviously a revision of the rules, but it covers the basic, standard, advanced rules and the optional rules. It's got all the pages in there marked. So that's got everything in there: multi-engine, 2-seaters, ace rules, balloon, ACAC, special rules, scenario rules. It's incredibly well laid out, and you can see obviously a reference in full color to all the different chits that you use during the game for, like, pilot attributes, aircraft damage, and then they give some displays there, examples of the displays. There's example of the miniatures. So a fantastic rule book there. We get that in the box. We get 2 counterboards of chits. So in this one, you've got there are example flame counters that you can see there, smoke counters, altitude, pilot stuff. These rulers here are the rulers in game. So your weapons have 2 ranges. Half of the ruler is considered a short range, and then the full ruler is a long range, on whether or not that your aircraft can hit another. So these, it's very difficult to see, but they're a good couple of mils thick. They're a decent thickness in counter. We can see another full board of counters in there. These are all different, like pilot skills, ace skills. There's some rocket, ACAC counters, and different counters going in through there. I'm not going to run through the whole lot because it's not a game review. What we'll see here, these are the aircraft boards. So you pop these out. So as you're playing the counter game, you put your counters and your chits on these boards as players. So there's 4 boards in there, and players. Obviously, you can do it without the board. Everyone has, and there's a lot of custom stuff around, because this game's been around a long time. And to be honest, this is a real base game for a lot of war game clubs. If you've had a hard day at work and you want a game that's just light on the rules, that you won't have to flick backwards and forwards between the rule book, this is a good set. You know, you can play a half an hour game between 2 years, have a beer. You know, it's nice. This is a little scenario booklet here. It's just a couple of pages covering a couple of basic scenarios. In the back is a sample of some of the aircraft packs. Now, these aircraft packs, I'll show you one at the end of this unboxing. But there's a large range. Still a lot of wargaming shops still have them out, because they've continually been bringing out one series, another series, another series. So there's still a lot out there to be bought as new, but there is also a large second-hand market for the plane. So I'll talk more about that at the end. So that's in there. And obviously, as I said, this is not a system based on dice. Damage is done by cards. So the different caliber guns in the planes have different effects. So down in the bottom of this card, you can see it down in there. It tells you the name of the deck. So this is an A deck, right? So the number on the counter is the amount of damage that your aircraft takes. And obviously you can see that this goes up and there's some variations in there. There's obviously a whole icon system in here about damage. You can smoke planes, you can put them on fire, you can jam guns, you can do all these different things. So those sorts of effects are also listed. You can see them in there, jams. Those sorts of effects are also listed in the counter deck. And you'll see as well, so there's A, B, C, and D counter deck. So now that I've shuffled through, you can see down there, I've gone into the B deck. So these are some of the B deck. And there's just another little example there of a fire. You set the enemy aircraft on fire. So what you do is, if someone hits you, they let you know what type of gun they've got. You pull it from that deck, and then you look at that and mark that on your corresponding aircraft, and it'll make more sense when I show you an example aircraft at the end. Okay, so here's the second deck. So in this is a remainder of B. Then we go into a C deck. And then right down the end here, you will see we go into the D deck. And those decks vary on the level of gun, the caliber of the gun, and also its accuracy as well is reflected. So some of these points here are some of the scenarios you may target various areas, so you can put these out on a board. There are specific mats for this game that you can get, but you can just play it out on a table. Just mark out a rough area, agree between the players. It's fairly flexible. It's just a matter of how much area how many of you are playing and how much area do you want to fly around on. The bigger the area, the more room to maneuver, but it can make it a longer game. So what have we got here? These are examples here of machine gun and ACAC position counters that you can position out, and machine guns, bomb counters, and other things you can use when you're playing out scenarios. So it's got a little scenario-based bits and pieces deck there. You've got the two decks, A, B, C, D, plus those extra cards. All right, just going back through it, you get the rule book, main rule book, a scenario booklet, you get 4 player decks. I may as well throw this all back in, and then you get the 2 lots of chip counters there that are really, really nice, thick, and pop out. So that is it for the Wings of Glory, which was originally Wings of War, base rules. A lovely little box set there. You can still pick that up. I'm in Australia. I picked that up, delivered for $65. There are some more expensive versions out there. I guess it depends where you live. You might have a game store around near you that still has copies of this around. But what you will also see, and just quickly, because this is just the rules and accessory set, right? You need planes to play this game. So just quickly, this is not a review of planes, but this is an example of how they come, right? You get a box. It's usually a famous ace. In this case, it is Rickenbacker, the American pilot. So I'll just pop it out and just give you a quick look at an example plane set. So there are dozens and dozens and dozens of these planes out around the universe. So what you get in a pack with this, I'll do a quick pack review, is you get a base here, and the base has markers. I'll show you that a bit later on when I connect it into the plane. You get a deck here. The deck gives you details of your aircraft, right, and what that aircraft's got. So it shows you the aircraft type. It shows you a V out here, which is its shooting angle. And down in there, you've got the deck of the cards. The thing in the middle is the type, cannon. And then over to that side is the amount of points of damage that it can take. And this aircraft, it tells you the details of what the aircraft is. This is in Newport 28. So what you also get in the deck is a little deck of cards. This is the flight maneuver deck. So you put this in front of the stand and then you maneuver your plane around. So there's a whole lot of different flying positions, right? So that comes with the planes. So look, this is only a rule set box, so you will have to get some aircraft. I'm just going to pop this out quickly just to show you. Each aircraft comes with these little translucent flight pegs. You can see them there. You get 4 of them. You use them for your altitude marking. So all these miniatures come pre-painted. You clip the base on. There's the aircraft. It's clipped into the base now. You can see him there. Give you a good look around. They are all pre-painted. So in this case, this is Rickenbacker's Newport 28. So you can go and buy some of these. You can start with a minimum of 1. You can grab a rule pack and then off you go. So that is essentially, just throw those back in. That's essentially Wings of Glory. This is the base rule box, rules and accessories pack, but obviously you will need to look at getting possibility of 1 or more aircraft to play. Great game, very simple system. It has basic rules, advanced rules, optional rules if you want to increase the complexity of it. Dice-free system, card-based, has a broad appeal. There is also a World War II variant of Wings of Glory that is out there as well, and there's a range of World War II pre-painted minis as well, and a lot of people use third-party minis. Wings of Glory, what can I say? Great system, real bread and butter, easy to play war game. And that covers a great range of ages. You know, you can bring kids in. I've seen 10-year-olds play it. And then I've seen 50-year-olds play it. So, fantastic system. Wings of Glory. Still copies around. Great second-hand market and great community for war gamers. Right, hope you like this little review, little overview of the system. As always, stay safe. Enjoy gaming. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.